But
It is Friday night in Phoenix. You're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast. My name is Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Jose.
I'm Brian.
Hey, what's going on? Another Friday. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm here.
Same technical issues every fucking week.
Some kind of issue, right?
Ice didn't catch me.
It's
Always something.
Yeah, Jose is back, released from ICE's custody after raiding the sex dungeon. I see they let you keep the fireplace, huh?
Yep. I stuck in a new one.
You snuck in a new one? Did you sneak it in your prison wallet?
No.
Oh.
In my fanny pack.
Your fanny pack?
Yeah.
Your flesh fanny pack?
Ew.
Your prison wallet? Your prison knapsack?
His coin purse.
His coin purse. There you go.
Keistered it.
Looking as rapey as ever, Jose.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's dark. It's so dark.
So
That weird light in the back is weird.
It's my fireplace.
It's his fireplace.
I know, but it's just weird.
Is that, you mean the candle?
The can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fireplace. Same thing.
You know, that's a good idea. We need to make little candles that, look like fireplaces, miniature fireplaces.
We should all just start, broadcast or coming, streaming with our lights off and candles in the background.
Yeah.
Make it sexy.
Fucking weird.
A sexy podcast.
There you go. A sexy podcast. Can make a sexy true crimes podcast.
Or
Oh
asthma.
my god, I listened to that today.
Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer.
I
Did you
know
guys
why.
watch?
He was my bartender.
Did you guys watch the Ted Bundy thing on Netflix?
Not
Tapes?
yet.
It's pretty good.
That's right up your alley.
A little rapey, but
Right up your
really
alley.
weird.
Nothing out of your norm.
What Kyle and I are referring to is that Ron Burgundy came out with his own podcast today. The first episode dropped on iHeartRadio today, and it's my new favorite podcast.
I definitely jumped to number 1 on the trending list
Wow.
immediately.
Yeah, it's my new favorite podcast.
It pretty much opens up with him drinking and eating an apple because he doesn't know it's recording.
Yeah. Let's start taking calls. Ron, we can't take calls. Well, we're gonna personally record every one of them and mail them to you.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was like 50 minutes. It's pretty funny though. It's worth listening to.
Yeah,
It's like
if you
a
need
You're
to
going to
build
do on a regular basis?
every Thursday.
Nice.
I like how the first story he just says, "Yep," and they did their job.
Yeah. It's pretty
Well, you got
funny.
to get into a little bit more detail. Why? Everything went smooth. They did exactly what they're supposed to. They arrested him.
Yeah.
So,
I like his witty banter between him and his producer.
Caroline.
Yeah. That's
I
funny.
like when the doctor is in, and she's talking about all the shit that he does to her.
Oh yeah.
Like you
Got a
fucked up
female
her-
doctor.
Hypothetically, what if your boss tried to throw a brick at you, and then Ron's like, hypothetically, what if he wasn't sorry?
It's totally worth listening to.
And then at the end, they do the like things that we screwed up, and it's pretty funny. How one of his true crime stories is just a dream he wrote down in his dream journal. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I already can't wait for next week's.
So
So how's everybody doing today? How's everybody's week?
Pretty good.
long and shitty,
Yeah. It's continuing
real
tomorrow
long
morning.
and real shitty. Oh, you got to work tomorrow?
Fuck.
What happened to no more overtime?
I was telling Kyle, they're fucking doing me dirty, man. They're figuring out the ways.
They're fingering
I
out the
know.
ways, huh?
Yeah, I said that
Fingering?
yeah, exactly, right?
You know, it
Doing me
just sucks
dirty.
when you work somewhere and your boss doesn't like you, so they fucking make life fucking miserable.
That's exactly what it is.
They're
But dirty
fingering out the ways.
Yeah.
They're fingering them out.
No. But at least I grade my books through CGC.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
So you just want to get rolling right into that, don't you, Brian?
I just love the fact that we egged them on and said, "Hey, CBCS, look at your Twitter feed for once in 4 months."
4 months.
Try a year, yeah, or 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
it would be nice if that happened, but it's not going to happen. So it makes it even better to continue to egg them on.
Oh, I'm planning on it once a day.
Yeah.
Once a day.
Hey, where are you at, CBCS? Come on.
Once a day, same message. It's gonna happen
every morning, 10 a.m.
Yeah. Soon we're gonna be boiling rabbits in their kitchen.
Well, I mean, at some point they're gonna answer us, right?
Yeah. Well,
because when you go to their website and you click on like their main guy, it's like contact me, and it's got a Twitter button, and all it does is go to their fucking company Twitter feed,
and then it just says still trying to migrate our server.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You think they did it on purpose? Here, contact me. Let's go to the one place we haven't checked since May of 17.
Right.
So I guess I'll give my CBCS update then, huh?
Yes. Let's hear it.
All right. So I got a message. I'll just start it from the beginning. So as everyone knows, I've been waiting since, I sent my books off late April into May to get my to get a bunch of books graded. I got a Spider-Man 300, I've got Avengers 194, Amazing Spider-Man 569. Some pretty nice books. And so I got a message on Wednesday that says, the rest of your books are done. Woohoo! That's great. I'm stoked. So I was like, but I didn't want to get my hopes up too high because I didn't know if it was they're done as in they've been graded, but they have to sit for another 4 weeks in double checking, or they were being shipped out or what. So I said, they're being shipped out or they just finally encapsulated. And they responded back and he said it was shipped. They were shipped out. I was like, oh, nice. He said, I can't wait to see those grades. He's like, I can give you the grades if you like. And I was like, fuck, hell yeah, let's do it. It's just getting better and better. So he said, okay, first, the one you've been waiting for, Amazing Spider-Man 300. I was like, he's like 7.5. And I was like, oh, so I guess pressing doesn't help then because that was the grade it was before.
Oh, that sucks.
And he said, apparently, sad face. And I said, did it even get pressed? And then he said, of course it did. I sent it out with the others. He said, keep in mind, a press is not a guaranteed upgrade. Plus, CBCS is always harsher than the others. And he said, well, here are the grader notes. It says, spine stress breaks color. Few creases front and back. Cover breaks color. Few bends to cover. Surface wear, back cover, breaks color. Okay. And I was like, what? Hold on. Let me see what it was like when it first got graded before you guys cracked it and I had it signed again and shipped off to be pressed. So these were the grader notes from when I originally graded it, like 2 years ago. Spine stress breaks color. That's fine. Okay. Small crease, bottom right corner, breaks color. Bend, crease, and logo. That was it. So I was like, well, that's a lot more damage than it was before I gave it to you guys. And he said, I said, so according to the grader's notes from before and now, the book has more damage to it now than it was the first time I had it graded. So the second time I had it pressed and it was supposed to be, he's like, or the grader was more harsh and he caught more. So that leads to my first thing that I want to talk about with grading.
Brian's salivating over there.
So this is what mine is. So this conversation right here proves that there is no standard for grading. It is how, and we've talked about it. We've all speculated. We've all said it has to be done on feeling. There's no way, but that proves right there that there is no guidelines for grading.
At least definitely not for CBCS. I mean, we all know that's to the point for most of the places, but CBCS for sure, we know that it's terrible.
So what so I said it's either this then. Either the book got messed up in transport, the book got messed up while it was being pressed, the book got messed up while it was at CBCS, or there's no grading standards. It's one of those four things. Which one is it? Well, it can't be the pressing and it can't be the way we shipped it because we shipped it nice. So you're trying to tell me that CBCS fucked it up? Or you're telling me that there's no grading standards? That's what you've got it down to. So it's either CBCS doesn't know how to take care of people's fucking books while they're there, or they have no grading standards. Which one? Or
you're gonna get it back and it's not your book.
You know what? I really didn't think that was the case. I know there's been rumors and people have talked about that happening, but I was like, no grading company would actually do that like on a regular basis, right? And then when this shit keeps happening, you have to really say to yourself, either, and I'm not saying the guy who facilitated did this because I really think he's a good dude. I just think that he's dealing with a shitty company. I don't want to say he's a bad dude, but one of the things is either CBCS switched the book, or the dude who pressed it switched the book and went, oh, this is a nicer copy than mine. Here you go. Send it off.
I mean, I don't think there was a book switch for the fact of that book is pretty unique. Todd McFarlane signed it in blue. Stan Lee signed it in a certain spot. Okay.
Yeah.
David Michelin signed it in a certain spot. So it's more of a unique book.
But you haven't gotten the book back yet. So emphasize that. So that was like when we were talking the other night. That's the first thing you got to look at. Like we said, is the signature because it's in blue. If it's any other color, you know for a fact right then and there it's not your book.
Yes, I mean, yeah. If it comes back and it says Todd McFarlane in green, that's not my fucking book. But because I mean, that just
with the amount of time they've had, who's not to say that they weren't like, ooh, Todd McFarlane's going to be here. Let's send it back to Phoenix and get him to sign it here. Or let's get a special signing with him. And, someone else didn't get the book signed. There's many things that could happen. That's a long stretch to go that far, but who knows,
So then my next question was, what are the grades of my other books? Okay, so I only have 2 books that were a basis of a comparison because all the other books I gave them were raw. So I had a Amazing Spider-Man 569 and Amazing Spider-Man 300 that were both graded. The Amazing Spider-Man 569 was graded at a 9.6. So he came back, he said that one was been graded at a 9.4. And I said, well, pressing didn't help that book at all then. It made it go down. He said, well, I don't understand. How would that have happened? Well, it went down. So either you guys fucked it up in shipping, or you guys fucked it up during pressing, or they fucked it up while they had it. It's one of those 3 things. Because the book was a 9.6 before when they cracked it. They cracked it out of the case from a 9.6.
And you know what? Here's the situation where they could definitely switch a book, though, because that book wasn't signed when you sent it out, right?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah, it was. I got it signed at the con. I got it cracked. I got it cracked out of the CBCS case at the con, signed, and then I took it, and they took it back to the table.
And I don't think you can blame the CBCS facilitator you guys work with because, I mean, he's local, right?
Yeah.
So once he sends your books off, it's out of his hands. So if he's sending them to Boston for another convention or whatever, that's out of his hands. But I know for a fact Kyle cracked these books at the convention. He let them crack the books. So they know the condition it was when they cracked it. And Kyle never touched it again.
Nope, I never touched it again.
If it was cracked with those notes and now it's coming back with more damage, obviously they're at fault. Whoever, regardless if it was the facilitator who sent it out, the facilitator who handled to get it signed and sent it to CBCS, CBCS is at fault for it.
Yeah, it's either however somebody packed it when they shipped it, however they pressed it, or what they did while it was in the hands of CBCS. One of those things. And if you could say they graded it at a 9.6 originally. So if they found it harsher this time, that means once again we're back to there is no standard of grading. They just do whatever the fuck they want.
And how much of harsher this time was, well, this guy's been hounding us and pissing me off. So,
yeah.
See, the books weren't in my name.
Okay.
The books aren't in my name. So, like, I can't even... And that's what he offered. He was like, well, I can get you in contact with the CBCS if you're that unhappy.
Yes, please do that so we can get him on the show.
And I was like, why would I want to contact CBCS and get some bullshit run around answers that say, we take care of your books to the highest standard, and there's no way that when they were here that they inflicted any damage. But if you're finding that much more stuff between the first time you graded it and the second time you graded it, like I've said like 3 times now, it could be only one of 3 or 4 things. I haven't had the book. You guys have had the book.
But his reasoning though goes to show you what kind of scam essentially grading your comic books is. Because if they don't have any standard and they can just grade it however they feel, and you're gonna send a book back to get signed and they crack.
I wonder if I should, slide
slide a Hunky in there.
Yeah, like a Benji or something in there.
Slide in a Benjamin and see what happens.
Slide a couple 20s in there and say, take your wife out to dinner and get some before you grade this book.
Well, just say it, like there's no standard. So if he's having a shitty day and he's like, oh man, this fucking dude is sending in a Spider-Man. Yeah, this dude's sending in a Spider-Man Stan Lee signed 300. Fuck this guy, I want this book. Fuck this guy. And he just grades it lower. There's nothing you can do about it. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're 100% up to the mercy of the kind of day whoever is grading your shit is having.
And it looks like whoever graded my books was in a fucking bad mood.
Yeah.
Which is shitty. That personal feelings should not interject with the job. The job should be 100% like it should be scientific.
You got the guy that's pulling a Brian and having to work a bunch of overtime, so he just decided to fuck you.
I wish they worked overtime. It probably wouldn't have taken 9 months to get the books back then.
Maybe they're just that backed up that they are working overtime and still taking forever.
Then what they need to do is they need to stop taking submissions for a while and catch up. Because compounding to the problem doesn't do anything.
No. You're absolutely
right. You can go on their website right now and it says 12 to 15 weeks. Why lie? It's not truthful.
Because it's a bad business model to be like, oh yeah, we're like, 62 weeks.
62 weeks. 118 weeks.
Yep.
But and I told the dude a couple times, I was like, it's not necessarily you. But it's this whole entire situation. But you're my only outlet to talk to about this. I can't, I'm talking to you guys about it, and I'm talking to everybody out there that's watching us right now. But in all actuality, it's like working in tech support. You take the brunt of everybody's frustration because you're the representative of the company that is happen to be being to talk to.
Yep.
And that's what it is. He's the person, he's like my case manager. He's the person that was in charge of everything. But I shouldn't be getting a runaround story. That's just the way it goes. When a service is being performed, that's not what should be said.
You're paying for.
He's trying to give you a better answer than I don't know. That's essentially what it's coming down to. It sounds like he's trying to give you an answer that's not I don't know, and he knows no matter what he says isn't going to sit well with you. So,
well, yeah, because I'm unhappy.
Well, absolutely.
And I feel like I have every right to be unhappy. I mean, I guess I should look at the positive. I should be like, well, you know what? They fucked my book up and there's a lot more damage. So I should be happy it's the same grade.
But what positive? It's taken this long to get the same grade, and now there's more shit wrong with it. And I can't wait to hear what you say once you actually receive the books.
Oh, I'm just gonna throw them in the garbage.
When you're like, that crease wasn't there, that crease wasn't there, that wasn't there, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it just, and I think all those books were in the middle of CBCS's move from Florida to Texas.
And you're gonna have a McFarlane signature that says Tad instead of Todd.
It's gonna say Ford McFarlane.
Yeah, in blue.
Yeah. But you know what? So my books had to be shipped another time. So how do I know they didn't get fucked up when they were being shipped from Florida to Texas?
Right. Fucking Texas.
Fucking Texas. But yeah, that is the CBCS update, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find if there's anybody talking about having similar problems lately, just so I can see how bad it is.
Because I don't know. If there should be some kind of consistency, because if those were all problems that were there originally, they should have found them the first time then. So, and if there's that many more problems, how did it stay the same grade? Because when they crack a book and they slide the old label in the back of the bag and board so that when they go back to regrade it, they have a reference. So that they say, fuck, we fucked up the first time we graded, or fuck, this is more fucked up than last time. We better just keep it the same grade to cover our ass.
I mean, do that.
So they just decided to be harsher. Like, what kind of guidelines? Like, was there a meeting? Did they get an email that says, all right, guys, we need to be a lot harsher this week?
All the books here.
Like, I'm tired of grading these fucking books. Or, I'm just going to grade them all low because I'm a fucking cocksucker from CBCS.
He's pissed, and he has a right to be. I understand, why.
And I totally understand that pressing isn't a guaranteed grade upper, but if it took the damage out of those books. So the other thing that should have happened was those books should have been looked over when I looked over them, and my person that I trusted from the company told me these books should be pressed so that we can get a higher grade. Maybe they should have looked at them close and they should have said, a press might not help these books anymore. So it's not worth pressing. Because it didn't help it. So why don't tell, that's part of your job as the representative with these books to say, yes, I agree with you that these should be pressed, or no, it's not worth the press. But if you tell me, hey, all these need to be pressed so they can get higher grades because I see this, and this, and it'll make it a higher grade, then there's a little bit, and maybe that's their fault for giving an expectation. But that's just what I think should, that they should have said, what, it might not help this book. Let's just pass on it. Because in my eyes, not being there, to me, it looks like the pressing fucked it up. Either the pressing fucked it up or CBCS fucked it up.
The pressing guy set his coffee down on your book. What?
There's a fucking coffee ring on it. But that's
go to PGX, man.
No, I'm just not gonna have my books graded. It's just not worth the hassle. It's not worth my book being gone. It's not worth the frustration of hoping it comes back a good grade. It's just right now, to me, it's just not worth it.
There's a whole Reddit subreddit right now called Comic Book Collecting that I'm looking at a thing that they're talking about CBCS being a scam operation.
I was looking at that right at the same time.
Oh, yeah?
What does it say?
I sent let's see here. I sent CBCS 4 comic books back in January and was told that there would be a 13-week turnaround for grading and signature verification. It has now been almost double that time, and I still have yet to see any of the comics nor any email updates that they said that I would receive. This was 7 months ago too. I've called the customer service numerous times, got a recording to leave a message because they're not taking calls, but their voicemail box is full, so I'm unable to leave a message. That's true because I tried calling them.
When you were having problems.
Yeah, they don't respond to any emails, and I understand that they've moved, but I fail to see how this is my problem when they put in the writing that the books have a 13-week turnaround time, and that would be before the move. Is this typical CBCS behavior?
Yes.
Yeah. And then one guy, his answer goes, I think the term is scam.
Damn.
Well, a lot of people are defending it, saying that the term scam might be kind of harsh, and it's more of a circumstance of shitty customer service.
Yeah, I don't think they're not scamming people. They're not living up to what you expect a certain amount of service, and when you're paying for a product, you're hoping to get the best out of it, and I think they're just not fulfilling their end as a company.
I was just told by someone that this is like a comic book telenovela.
A comic book.
They're speaking Spanish.
I couldn't understand what that meant.
So this guy down here says, I had 3 books witnessed at a con. That was on June 15th, 2018. Got an email from them saying they were being processed July 11th, 2018. It is now October, and I haven't heard anything since July. I have 3 books graded with them before and never took this long. I'm not even getting anything verified, which makes it even more frustrating.
I think I just think they bit off more than they could chew. They shot themselves in the foot, and now we're paying for it. We're paying for it as consumers.
So then this other guy says, short answer is yes. Their turnaround times are advertised as approximate and always seem to take longer than estimated. I use them 2 times because they were cheap and the grading is solid, but the turnaround times are ridiculous. For my last run, I used CGC and they were way faster. But as you probably know, they don't verify signatures. That's hurting all of this. Is just verify signatures, CGC. How fucking hard is it?
Yeah. Put this company out of business. That's all you got to do is say you're going to verify signatures, and CBCS is done. But you know what's funny? Like CGC would say, well, we don't care if CGCS is done because they're just giving us more business. I mean, and yeah, if they leave, but another group might pop up, and CBCS is just so terrible. But I don't know. Who knows?
I just can't wait to have my books back, and I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to chalk this up to experience, lesson learned. I have made my bed and I lied in it, and I'm not going to. I've learned my lesson. I've learned from past mistakes now.
It seems like, though, from this Reddit post, you're not alone. There are a lot of people experiencing the same like latency issues or longevity of getting books back issues. Not so much the change in grades and stuff.
And you know, the grade thing might just be maybe I was expecting more. I was hoping for more, because and that happens, and I get it. But there's just nothing worse than turning in a book at a 9.6 and it coming back lower. It sucks.
Yeah.
So
not only that, having your one book come back a 7.5 after it got pressed. And listen, I understand that some books aren't going to be able to get pressed, but that book was totally pressable, and not to get a 0.5 bump, that's pretty sad.
At least.
Yeah.
I think, it's just, you're doing the right thing, dude, in my opinion. It's just been problem after problem after problem after problem. And you just got to let it go. Like, if you don't want to grade books anymore, that's a smart move.
Like
That's just what I'm going to do.
At all, huh? You're not going to grade it at all.
Offer on-site grading. You know, with the problems they're having, if CBCS were to go around and go, okay, we're going to start offering on-site grading at major conventions in your area. So Phoenix, that's one of the that's actually becoming one of the biggest conventions, you know, outside of your big names like your San Diego or New York and Salt Lake City. Do an on-site grading. Offer on-site grading. If you're getting the signatures signed at the place, offer on-site grading and overnight encapsulation. Make sure that these people have their books back by the end of the weekend.
They do that for Baltimore. I don't know why that's one of the few ones they do it. They should do it at all of them, to be honest.
I mean, I understand like not doing it at small ninny like conventions that are being held at, you know, a hotel or something, but bigger conventions that see a lot of people like Phoenix, why not? You know, what's it hurting? Do it there. Do on-site grading. Bring a grader. Do on-site encapsulation. Have it all there. You know. To me, it makes sense. That way, you're upping your business. People are getting their books back, and you're saving face. Because whatever you're working right now, that business model you have, it doesn't work. They got to do something to try and save face.
I think it's almost past the point of no return for them. And I think the only thing that's really keeping them up is all these facilitators that they have. And they're turning in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books because they're going, you know, across the country for people getting their books signed.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with it.
But to me personally, as a collector, that's half the fun of going to the convention is getting your own shit signed. So like when you send it off to dipshit Dan in Baltimore to get it signed, that takes all the fun out of it.
I don't know. I feel like they took all the fun out of it by, you know, making this. I don't know. I feel like they took all the fun out of it, but way before the grading or way before any of that.
The comic book flippers took all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Brian.
I know, but
you know comic book flippers.
I would say maybe I'm a comic book flipper if I actually put comics up for sale. God,
That's true.
Fucking terrible, man.
You just buy them, grade them, and then you talk about flipping them, and then you keep them because you're a collector.
Yeah, I mean, shit, dude. Can you guys see that? Look at that.
Hoarder. He's a hoarder.
There's fucking comic books in my kitchen. Fuck. Anybody want to buy any comic books? So, but update on Garcia. He did sell his collection.
Oh, he sold it to that guy?
Yeah. Congrats to Anthony. Is it Anthony? He's a cool dude. Facebook seller. He something Bird Comics on Facebook. I can't remember. I feel bad because I told him to listen to the show. And but he got himself a good collection. Josh got himself a good score. He sold 15 comic boxes, 15 short boxes for $3,600.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I think they both got a really good deal. I think that there's a lot of meat on the bone for the dude to sell because he's a Facebook seller. And at that point, you're not, you know, a lot of those Facebook sellers, they get what they ask. And, you know, so many people in those auctions are ravenous. So he said he makes a lot of money, a lot more money on Facebook than he ever did on eBay. So congrats to them.
I might have to look into that then, sell my collection to pay off some medical bills.
Yeah, fall on the medical bills, man. They can't come after you.
No, I don't want to do that.
No, you don't.
Jay said, hey, Brian, what's behind the curtain?
The backyard.
The dead bodies.
Yeah.
That's where the real room of comics is in.
Yeah,
that's where Jose keeps his victims.
Yeah.
He takes them over to Brian's house.
Takes them over to my house, and we turn them into comic boxes.
That's where he puts his all Hitler plates.
Yeah.
That's his Hitler memorabilia room.
Yeah.
Oh, that picture you made the other day, fucking Matt, was so funny.
Dude, and that's the funny part is like, I was looking at it, I was like, damn, that looks like it's from the same show, but it was from 2 different shows. One was from ours, the other one was from Flipside. I just couldn't pass it up when I was scanning through, and I saw the shot of you like putting the thumbs up. I was like, there it is. Who wants to talk about Hitler? Who wants to talk about Hitler?
Jesus.
I have a question, Brian.
What's up?
So I've had like certain pains in my, because of my Sjogren's.
Yeah.
I took a dive and bought the hemp oils.
Okay.
And
Get your card? You get your card yet?
No, I don't need a card to get the
CBD oil.
Just go get your card, bro. Go get your card.
So I tried the CBD oil, and I think it worked.
Well, yeah, of course it did. It's made from the greatest plant in the world. It works. That's the magic plant.
And then, so it's the only thing that gave me the shits, though.
Yeah, you'll get over that. That's just your body getting used to the most wonderful plant in the world. So
yeah, I never took it before.
Gave me the shits.
Give me the shits.
It's amazing how well that stuff works for just about everything. Like what do they call those guys that used to peddle the medicine out of their their back of their wagons back in the old Western days, and it basically
the snake oil.
Yeah, snake oil guys. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's snake oil." They say it fixes everything, but it damn well gets close to fixing everything. So
yeah, like I still have a pain in my neck, but I slept funny last night, and it didn't really get away. So
I just call that pain a Jose.
I say he's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I bet you if you keep taking that, and then you just hurry up and man up and get your medical card, go get yourself some Rick Simpson oil. They sell it at the pharmacies without the THC. Go get the Rick Simpson oil. Take about a little rice grain worth a night.
What's the point of it without the THC though?
So the CBD is just as important as the THC, right? So people that have pain, sometimes the CBD will help, but it won't, cure it. So
it's like a Band-Aid.
It's like a Band-Aid. Well, not. It's weird because we have these cells in our bodies called cannabinoid cells, right? They're like they're part of a system in our body, but they're basically dormant, right? In order for things to get energized, you have to feed them cannabis. They're called cannabinoid cells for a reason. Our bodies were originally, we've evolved into this. And the things that we have are supposed to be there. There's a reason they're there. And, for the last 200 years, we've made, cannabis out to be this monster. And it's one of the things we need to, live correctly and live well the way we were supposed to be. But anyway, so these cannabinoids, for instance, for cancer, they've proved they take these, these microscope shots of them and they show the cannabinoid cells and they show them kind of getting energized, and then they show the cancer cells, and they literally will go like 3 or 4 of these cannabinoid cells will go around these cancer cells and surround them and start like doing this weird thing. And then all of a sudden the cancer cell just starts freaking out and literally will commit suicide. And nobody wanted to admit this for the longest time until more info started hitting, the airwaves, and the FDA had to come out, or the FCA. What's the medical one?
FDA.
Yeah. So they had to literally come out and say, yes, it's true. This what it does to cancer cells. Da, 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 da. So they've admitted to it, and it works so well for inflammation. Allergies, food allergies. It helps with people that, like there's people out there that have the gluten allergy. It helps right a lot of those things. Do you guys listen to the Joe Rogan show? I know I always bring up other podcasts, but did you guys hear Travis Barker on the Joe Rogan show?
No.
He was on there, and you remember he got burnt. 97% of his body or whatever was burnt in that plane, that plane crash. And he was talking about, how he's got all this crazy, really painful stuff, and how the only way he can get through it is by taking CBDs. And he's 100% sober. He doesn't even smoke weed anymore, nothing. He just takes the CBD oil. And he's like, I couldn't function without it. I wouldn't be able to live a normal life. So it's good that we're finally waking up as a society and saying this shit helps, and they're really the positives so far outweigh the negatives. And if you ever wanted to really look and get some proof, if this shit didn't work, you wouldn't have as many doctors are out there saying that it does. And also it's funny because the drug companies are now trying to figure out ways to make money off of it because they can't fight it anymore. It's working that much. So they're trying to figure out ways to, pull a Monsanto and create their own chemical and use it. So I'd be very interested to see if it helps, not just the pain, Jose, if it helps out, some of the other side effects or anything that's kind of been different, especially since the stroke. So
it's keeping them regular.
That's the only side effect so far that I've noticed. I've only taken it for 2 days. And so I got the mint, no, what is it? What's the
The mint chocolate chip one.
It's named after the Girl Scout cookie. The mint one.
Thin Mint.
Thin Mint.
Oh, Thin Mint.
Is that more medicine for you?
Yeah.
But like I said, the only thing that's really affected me is just the shits. It cleared me out, so probably don't have to shit for 2 days.
How much do you have to take? What's the recommended dose?
The guy told me at the place, because I was telling him about my problem, and he said usually 12 drops.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Tongue.
Yeah, that's very cool, man.
That's
Just drink the whole bottle.
That's like an entire dropper, probably, huh?
No, it's like not even half a dropper. But I was listening to a podcast that's just Sjogren's. So all these different people have tried different things and share what they went through and all that. And they had a doctor talking about CBD oil, and she said the way she explained it, it's like the CBD oil is like a lockpick, and your body reacts to certain things. So certain things can unlock, whatever. But the CBD oil, even though it works, it's like a lockpick. So you get side effects, but it still does the trick.
Yeah.
That's how they explained it.
That's interesting. That's almost kind of like a doctor saying, I want to tell you guys that it's good, but I can't really say it's amazing because that means these the pharmaceutical companies won't pay me, the money they pay me. So
yeah. That's how she explained it.
I don't know if I've talked about it on this show, but one of the most amazing things that proved to me 100% this shit works, obviously, was it saved my brother's life. He had the bone cancer, a really rare form of bone cancer, and they told him that he had a huge 9-inch tumor in his femur, and they told him that if he doesn't shrink that to 80%, down to, if he doesn't shrink it by 20%, they can't basically do anything to help him. So they put him on this horrible chemo regimen where he was an inpatient at the Mayo Hospital, not like going and sitting down and getting chemo for 4 hours. No, this is 7 days hooked up to the poisons, and they have to keep vitals on him because he's half dead by the middle of it, and then he can go home for 4 and then go back for 14 and do a 14-day regimen and then come home for 6. And he did that for 53 weeks, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working, and he was half dead. He had to have 3-4 transfusions to just save his life. Those times. And he hadn't eaten for weeks, hadn't even drinking a drop of water for days. He could barely move. And I went and saw, grabbed him. And I said, hey, he smoked, so he had to quit smoking. And all he kept saying is he just wants cigarettes. So I said, hey, I'll go get you a pack of cigarettes if you'll take this cannabis oil concentrate, right? Because one of my really good friends said, hey, if I'll give you 800 milligrams of cannabis oil extract, you make sure he takes it a day, which is a fucking lot. You make sure he takes it every day, and this will work. So I did it. So I made him take 800 milligrams every day. Stoned to the
There's
gills.
a guy in your kitchen, Brian. It's happening again.
You.
Yeah.
A monster back there.
Yeah.
He's stealing your comics.
Yeah. Stoned to the gills, but it also saved his life. And by the end of it, it shrunk the tumor enough to have the surgery, and he went on to the next phase of, trying to beat it. And when that got to that phase and they were successful, the doctor, we were sitting in talking to the doctor and all the nurses in there. And the doctor was like, nurses, can you leave? I need a second with the family. And he closes the door and he's like, your son is alive today, 110% because of the cannabis treatment. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's what saved your son's life. And, you guys should know that. I would never say it in front of another doctor, because, he could get blackballed. And he said, and I'll never admit to saying it, but you guys need to know 100% that it saved your son's life. That was all I needed to hear. You know what I mean? I don't care if anybody tells me if it's bad. You hear something like that, and it's a game changer. So there's a lot of people that are going through that right now and having the same thing. And some of these people have the want and the money to go start a pharmacy and grow some freaking marijuana plants. And it's changing the ballgame. And now they're starting to say that psychedelic mushrooms are just as important and do just as much. So it's pretty interesting how what our society is coming to. And we have some fucked up shit. We have some people who like to talk about Hitler on podcasts. Mm-hmm. We also have medical marijuana. So. Yeah.
Jay in the chat wants to know, Jose, what defects did you have from the stroke, and what type of stroke did you have? A block or a hemorrhage?
I had a hemorrhagic stroke. So basically, a blood vessel from my back to my brain popped before it hit my brain. So the oxygen from whatever the vein was from that broke. So that's why I suffered a stroke. The side effects, the only major thing that I've noticed actually, is my speech. Apparently other people don't notice it, but I noticed it. But I didn't really lose anything from that. I forgot some things, but other than that, I really didn't lose anything. Full recovery.
It also put you out for quite a bit. You were out of commission for
6 months.
Yeah.
I couldn't drive. I couldn't do anything for 6 months. And I was in a coma for 3 days. And I was in the hospital for 18 days.
Do you think the stuff that you're going through now, like what is that thing that you call it? The
Sjogren's.
Yeah, Sjogren's. Do you think that's from having the stroke?
No, because it's an autoimmune disease.
And did you have that before the stroke?
Nope. But autoimmune has nothing to do with me having a stroke.
I know, but
just the fact that you didn't have it before the stroke and now you do is what he's saying.
Yeah.
I asked my rheumatologist about it.
Yeah.
And he said that it's just one of those things that people get.
I asked my rheumatoid arthritis about it.
Whatever.
That's exactly what I thought too. I was like, he's got rheumatoid arthritis now?
It's the same thing.
It's the same doctor.
Yeah. It's almost the same thing.
It's autoimmune, so.
So my mom has a RA, and it runs in our family, and she got it really young, and she
that shit sucks.
Yeah, it does. It fucking sucks, man. And she was, going and getting the Remicade treatments and all that stuff, and on the high dose pain medication, and she hated it. And then we got her to try the medical marijuana, and it worked wonders until her RA doctor found out about it. As soon as our doctor found out, that she was using medical marijuana, he said, "You either get off the marijuana or you don't see me." And yeah, so
Jose's turning 85 next month.
Man, it feels like it. I mean, from what I've gone through, all the different things I've gone through, it made me appreciate little things, and it made me like, if something like shitty happens, I'm like, I've been through worse. I feel I can handle this. It's not a problem. So I'm really changed my attitude about certain things. I don't get as frustrated or angry about things. It made me.
I'm gonna get. What would Jose do? Wristband.
That's the next Absolute Geek shirt right there. What would Chimichanga do?
Half the time, you probably don't want an answer to that question.
No, it involves a candle.
It would involve the middle of the night and telling them you don't have a car. All right, so moving on to something a little bit more fun than talking about how we're all dying.
Dying.
Yeah, about Jose's old man diseases and everyone's slowly dying. The Super Bowl was this past Sunday. New England Patriots won yet another Super Bowl, but they had
like Thanos.
Yep, Tom Brady's the new Thanos. So speaking of Thanos, though, they showed the Avengers Super Bowl TV trailer, and there's some speculation that in the trailer there's been a character removed. What do you guys think?
Guaranteed.
Oh yeah, that's what they did with Hulk last year.
Probably Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, right? It's got to be Captain Marvel.
I don't know, because they're pretty much made it pretty apparent that she's in the film. Like, they're not hiding the fact that she's in the film.
Yeah, but they don't want to show probably her. She's probably got some crazy new costume or something, you know?
Maybe.
I don't know. Same reason that they faked that Hulk pic, right? Hulk's in the film, but they faked it because they didn't want people to realize he couldn't turn into the Hulk. So, he was in the fucking Iron Man armor. So
he was in the movie, but he wasn't the Hulk.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying about Captain Marvel. Maybe she that binary power that they're all everybody's talking about. Maybe that turns her in. You know how cool it would be? Do you guys remember Kingdom Come and the Captain, the Starman character in that went to JSA, where he basically just looked like he was a galaxy, like it was just all dark and he had the stars on him. You remember that character? That'd be badass if they do that type of thing with Captain Marvel when she turns into her binary, form. I know they have a character like that in A-Force, but maybe that's something like that. She changes into even more badassness, once she does something to fight Thanos or something.
I don't want to see people changing into anything else.
I think that gap is just Spider-Man.
You think it's Spider-Man just magically re-erected?
No, this is why it's a gap, because he's not really there, but it's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or his tentacles.
It's kind of like when you keep setting a plate at a dinner table after your loved ones pass, they keep, making a space for him in the Avengers lineup.
It's where my CBCS books are supposed to be.
That's where they are.
They're in the Avengers Endgame movie. Did you guys read the synopsis that they released for that?
No, I don't want to know shit. But go ahead.
I read it.
It's not doesn't really give anything away. It tells you what you pretty much already know.
Read it.
You want me to read the whole thing?
Fucking A, do it.
I'm not gonna read it.
Like 30 books or 30 chapters.
Just do it.
Yeah, it's like 16 chapters long. There's some
like a leak of the script. Is that what you're saying?
There's a break for intermission. No, it's just the synopsis of the film.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
And it's right from Disney. It says that Avengers Infinity War left off. So it says that Avengers Endgame picks up where Avengers Infinity War is left off. It gives us a glimpse of the incredibly high stakes in Endgame. After the devastating events of Avengers Infinity War, the universe is in ruins due to the effects of the Mad Titan Thanos. With the help of the remaining allies, the Avengers must assemble once more in order to undo Thanos' actions and restore order to the universe once and for all, no matter what consequences may be in store. Thanks to Thanos' snap, the world suffers what is being called I just lost my place. The decimation, as half the decimation, whatever the fuck that is, as half the population was gone in an instant, fading out of existence. That includes heroes like Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Scarlet Witch, Winter Soldier, Groot, and more. As we saw in the newest trailer, that the ones who are left are now tasked with fixing what Thanos sought to break, pulling together the remaining Avengers as well as new allies to take the fight to the Mad Titan. That means calling on old friends like Hawkeye and finding new ones like Captain Marvel, as well as uniting those who originally defended the Earth in the Battle of New York. The remaining heroes consist of Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hulk, Hawkeye, and Thor, as well as Rocket Raccoon, War Machine, Nebula, Ant-Man, and Captain Marvel. Though it will take some effort to gather together, as Iron Man and Nebula are stranded on Titan at the end of Infinity War. We also know that the pager Nick Fury activates before the fade away to dust caused by Captain Marvel, but we don't know exactly what their deal was and why he waited so long to call her into action. We'll find out more about this in the upcoming Captain Marvel solo film, which is right before Avengers Endgame. But it sounds like
nothing. It's pretty much what we thought it was.
And it sounds like the time travel, people's time travel predictions are going to be pretty accurate.
So here's the other question. Do you think that, so we saw with the other one how, Disney and Marvel really wanted to do that. Like, they didn't want to have anything silly in it. That most of that movie is really like serious, but it paced so well, and they didn't want to. They wanted to like have that cinematic, that type of movie effect. Do you think that this one will go at the end and give us a peek at the next new big bad, or did they just end it because they wanted it to stand on its own?
I think it ends.
So do I. I don't think they'll show us a big bad. But I'd be interested.
They might, because like we said, like there's still that speculation that there's another force at work here, that there's another
Eternity?
Well, not necessarily Eternity. There's another name that's being kicked around and I can't think of it right now.
The Beyonder?
No, the Destroyer. I can't think of his name right now. God damn it.
There's some pretty good theories about Thanos and CBCS in the group chat right now.
With your books?
Yeah.
The 4 rings are Kyle's 5 books.
It says half of my books went away in the snap. And then Tim said that he says, or half the people that work for CBCS got dusted during the snap, and that's why it's taken so long. And it says the snap just messed up my grades. It didn't mess up it didn't, take it from the books. It's just the actual grades that got snapped. So I appreciate all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of the character's name right now. God damn it.
Eternity? It's not Eternity?
No. Basically, it's saying that there's some other character that the theory was that there's some other character that's posing as Tony Stark, and that when they have the time splits, you're going to have 2 different Tony Starks, and it's going to be revealed that Tony was the power behind it, but that it's not actually Tony, it's this other character.
That's fucking stupid. That's fucking dumb. That's one of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time.
If that's what happens, I'm going to get pissed when they have the intermission. I'm just not going to come back.
Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah, and they released, it's supposed to be like a 3.5-hour movie.
Well, what was the first one? It was 3 hours easy, right?
I don't think it is. And Endgame is supposed to be the longest Marvel movie made, and they're saying that it's supposed to meet Titanic's runtime. The movie Titanic.
Thank you for the clarification.
Real Titanic's runtime was
Yep.
ill. This big fat zero.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify that.
I was a little confused, so I'm glad you clarified that.
I'm glad I helped you out there, Kyle. But there's a lot of fan theories out there. Yeah. What else did you have, Kyle?
I don't know. I sent it to you.
You're the put together guy. Bastard.
I'm having too much fun here in the chat.
I see that. And also Disney announced that they're going to continue to make R-rated movies. So that means that Deadpool,
Yeah.
Wax Jock, Titanic got me laid. So that's a lot to live up to. Yeah. I can't even remember how old I was when that movie came out. I think it was 12 or 13. I want to say. Too bad it didn't get me laid. Kyle is having a lot of fun in there. They shelved Gambit. Gambit's been shelved as well.
Yeah, but that Channing Tatum really wants to do that movie. So if he really wants to do it that bad, I could see him figuring out a way to get it made.
I think it's a good decision, and I think it's a good decision on Disney to, if they're going to reboot everything, because they're already talking about they're talking about rebranding it, recasting the X-Men. So if they're talking about doing that, they might as well just hold off on Channing Tatum and get someone else.
I just hate all this, redoing shit. Just keep them where they are. Keep them the stories the same, so we don't have to see a new freaking origin, and just recast the characters. I mean, you can have new actors play the characters. Just do a soft reset. Make people think they're different people or something. I don't know. I get tired of that shit.
Tired of seeing everything from the beginning over and over and over again.
How many times
we know the beginning?
Yeah, how many times do I got to see Bruce Wayne cry like a bitch when his parents get killed? I mean, fuck.
Well, that brings up a good point. So Kyle and I had talked about this in our group chat earlier this week. So they're already starting to release rumors about who they're looking to cast as the new Batman. And Robert Pattinson is like one of the first names that came out.
Why?
The dude's an incredible actor. If you get past Twilight,
that movie with Guy Pearce was sick.
If you watch the movie Good Time, he's fucking incredible in Good Time.
Yeah.
Pass.
Like I think he could actually pull it off. Now, is he the best choice? I don't know, but I think he could pull it off.
He'll be a glittery Bruce Wayne.
No,
can't go out in the sun.
You can't. You
And
can't.
he can read minds.
You can't hold him to fucking Twilight forever.
Always. Forever, forever, forever.
Nah, that's messed up.
Say it, vampire.
Fucking A. So you've watched those movies then, huh, Kyle? Is that your way of admitting that you've watched them?
Everybody's watched it. Nobody can fucking lie and say they didn't.
With their pants off?
Always.
You watch them back to back. You watch them all the time, don't you?
Every day. Say it, vampire.
I don't think he's a bad choice.
I do. I wouldn't want to see him as Batman. I'm not saying
I think he's an incredible actor. Like I think he could do it.
I want Adam West.
Yeah, well, good luck. Get a shovel.
I can string him up like Stan Lee.
Get a shovel. And then what's the dude from that's in Happy and from SVU, Special Victim Unit, Law and Order? He wants to play Batman too.
He'd be terrible.
No,
he's too bald to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, nobody wants a bald Bruce Wayne.
Actually, I think everyone wants an old Bruce Wayne because they want Batman Beyond.
Man, there's a lot of talk about that. that not getting made now.
Oh,
It like the book's like on it spiked up, and then it didn't it actually come out that they're not doing it.
Yeah, I mean that book really took off when that news got brought up, and then like the next day, a dude's like, that's not true. Maybe I heard wrong," and something like that.
Oh, what about Batman Beyond?
Yeah, about it.
I haven't heard anything about it getting made. All I heard was that Kevin Smith said it would be $1 billion idea to make it with.
Well, there's rumors that came out.
Smith heard that.
Yeah, there's rumors that came
Right.
out like 2 weeks ago that the Batman Beyond, they were going to do at least an animated thing, movies, but really good, not like for kids, and that's what caused the book to spike, especially that Batman Superman annual, whereas the first appearance of In Continuity, that book went up to like $100 book, $75 book.
So Jose in the chat said that guy from Drumline, Michael B. Jordan, can be in it.
oh God.
Yeah, the guy from Drumline.
Is that dude's name Nick Cannon?
Yeah, but it's a joke going back
I
to
know.
another episode that someone fucking said it was
awesome.
Michael B. Jordan was in Drumline.
Wasn't it Kyle?
No, I think it was. I can't
No, it
remember. Who it
wasn't
was.
me.
I don't want to call anybody out for it because it was pretty. I want to say it was Jay, but I'm not 100%.
Oh, I don't want to call anybody out, but I think it was.
I just
Jay.
did. Yeah, I just did. I don't care. Whatever. But the Beyond. So going back to the Avengers thing, it's the Beyonders who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's who I said. That's how Secret Wars gets started.
So it could be the Beyonder is. They're saying the Beyonder is going to be masquerading as Tony Stark.
Who's
Hey,
that
man.
purple guy that Avengers always thought that was the time traveling guy?
Tim says in the chat, if they're gonna shit on Batman, they might as well get Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill to do it. Hey, Seth Rogen is killing it with superhero stuff right now, with comic book stuff in general. Preacher is working on the Invincible live action movie.
Well,
So-
who saw Deadly Class? Was it out? Not yet. Not out yet.
Deadly Class is out. It's been out for a few weeks.
I haven't seen it. I need to watch it.
I watched the pilot. The pilot's really good. I haven't watched anything since.
I tell you what, I'm looking at this thing about who actors that they're saying, and that Army Hammer dude. I think he would be a good one.
Nah,
And then that Jack O'Connell dude, he'd be a good one.
I don't want Army Hammer.
Yeah, what a weird name, right? Wasn't that like
Arm and Hammer, the baking soda.
what a weird fucking name, man?
I want the dude who plays Eggsy in Kingsman to do it.
Yeah, he's cool. What about the guy who played Jigsaw and Punisher?
I don't know. I know they want a younger, like, less toned person to play him because it's supposed to be the year one story arc.
They should have the Tom Holland do it.
Yeah, Tom Hardy should do it.
Tom Hart. Really?
Who?
Fucking yeah,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy in anything, man. I'll fucking watch it.
That would be a young Batman.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So I just took CBD oil right now.
You got
my
shit.
neck's feeling better.
You
That
what?
happens that quick, huh?
Yep, my neck's feeling a lot better. I can actually move it around. It's crazy.
His butthole and his neck feels better.
I put it under my tongue. What, 15 minutes? Yeah.
That's cool.
15 minutes.
Very cool.
Rob Stark.
I'm a non-believer. Like oils and stuff. I'm not into that holistic crap, but
Yeah, it's really hard to think about that stuff actually working because it seems so cheesy. Like
Yep.
a snake oil
I was
salesman.
never a believer.
said, nobody's ever believed it because we were taught not to believe it.
So let's talk about the big controversy going on right now surrounding Liam Neeson. You guys seen that?
Yeah.
What is it?
And now they're calling for him to be digitally removed from Men in Black.
That's so fucking stupid.
I get two thoughts on this. One, what the fuck was he thinking? What a fucking moron. Like, what the fuck? Do you really think that they weren't going to get, somebody was going to get mad at that? Like, you're on intelligence probation at this point. If you're an actor, you're on intelligence probation. Don't say stupid things. You're just don't set yourself up. Like, and I understand, I think his kind of point was maybe like to show that people can change and this and that, but he just said it the wrong way. And like, you know, you're on intelligence probation, man. Don't say stupid shit. So
I don't know. There's a lot. It's a split feeling. There's a lot of people coming to his defense. Like, there's a lot of people out there now calling, like I said, calling for him to be removed from Men in Black, calling him a racist, and then you have a ton of celebrities coming to his aid and basically defending him. Like Whoopi Goldberg, of all people, came to him and said that he's one of her closest friends and that he's not a bigot or a racist, and that she thinks that his comments are being misconstrued and blown out of proportion. And Michelle Rodriguez pretty much said the same thing, that people are being stupid and that they need to just let it go and quit being oversensitive about shit. And there's a lot of it's a split right now on the feelings about what he said.
I would know because she's a lesbian.
Hey, she's not a lesbian. She dated Zac Efron. I think she's bi-curious. Maybe be like Kyle and be a little bi-furious.
Did you see the trailer for Zac Efron's new movie?
The Ted Bundy thing?
Yeah, that actually looks really good. I'm surprised how good it looks.
Oh, that's another thing I liked on the Ron Burgundy podcast, Kyle, is when he asks his producer the fuck, marry, kill about the serial killers like we did. And then he starts like shitting all over her when she actually answers it.
I can't believe it. I can't believe you do that.
Yeah. Oh, they want to know. Jose in the chat wants to know, for those out of the loop, what did Liam Neeson do? Well, he basically made some comments, some off-colored comments about.
No, tell it right. He told a story.
Yeah.
This black guy, a rabbi, and a Jew. Is that the kind of joke he sold?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find his.
Basically, what he said is that when he was younger, a lady he knew, a friend of his, said she got raped, and that he asked what color the person was, and she told him he was black. And then he said, then he just spent the next 2 weeks walking up and down the streets with a weapon, just waiting for a black guy to walk by, just so he can beat the hell out of them. And he called them the black, just waiting for a black bastard to walk by.
Yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck, dude? Again, I know I said it a lot. You know, Joey Diaz came up with this, line. You got intelligence probation. Don't be an idiot, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, he just told the story, and now it's just being blown out of proportion. It's, you know what? He was fueled by rage. If it would have been any person, I think he would have had the same reaction. He would have, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He just happens to be a black guy.
I think it was just kind of, there's just circumstances around it now.
Well, because he said he did go for it. He said that if at that time anyone would have walked up to him of color, he would have killed him. And
he said that was idiotic, but it was how he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he admitted that it was bad, but he's saying that was long ago and he doesn't feel that way. But he was basically telling his story and saying how he felt at the time, and it's just getting massively blown up, like we do with everything, and it's crazy.
It'd be kind of cool to get a pixelated Men in Black poster of his.
They just got to pixelate the root. Because Liam Neeson's giant root. But I don't know.
That's what happened. So,
and now people are calling for his head to be digitally removed from a poster.
off his head, or at least just pixelate it.
Yeah, off with his head, or kind of remove it a little. Just remove it a little.
They should just pixelate the eyes so we can't really tell it's him.
Did you guys see the trailers for what the fuck? Why did my camera turn off? For Pet Cemetery and then Chucky this week?
Yeah.
I'm excited about Pet Cemetery.
Yeah. I'll agree.
Jay says, is it just me or is Brian's roommate always cooking something?
Yes.
Cooking meth right now.
He did just get home a little bit ago.
Cooking meth right now.
Jose says in the chat, with the way people overreact these days, you should just keep those stories to yourself. Probably.
That's I 100% agree with that.
But then you got people that are being praised for coming out with these stories. Like, it's who knows?
They should just omit certain things like color.
Yeah, it would have saved them a lot of pain and suffering.
It was a bleep man, and I went after to look for one. That's just
yeah. It was a terrible man. It was just a man with a small penis.
The first small penis I was gonna find, I was gonna hurt him.
Yeah, I was gonna kill him. And then the last thing, so it was announced this week that Walking Dead just got brought back or renewed for a 10th season. And it's also being announced today that Denai Garcia, who plays Michonne, is set to leave the show next.
Who?
Denai Garcia.
Her last name's Garcia?
Yeah. Isn't it?
So.
I thought it was Garcia. It's Denai something. I know that. I thought it was Garcia.
It's like
I fucked it up real bad.
She's not Mexican. She's not one of us.
I think I fucked it up real bad.
Yeah. I think so too.
Oh well. Denai Guerrera. That's a fucking Guerrera Garcia. That's close enough.
That's pretty close to Garcia. That's
it is. In my mind, it is. In my world, it is.
Yeah, right.
Garcia, whatever you just said.
Yeah,
Guerrera.
Guerrera.
I mean, there isn't a C in it. Never mind. I don't know where you got Garcia.
Hold us to a higher standard here, Kyle.
Sometimes I have to.
But she's gonna leave. She's pretty much leaving the show and being sporadic through season 10. But she's gonna be in the Rick Tatership movies.
That's so stupid. Like, stay on the show or don't. I don't know. I'm not gonna go on that rant again. I've already gone on that rant. But just don't.
There more?
No, don't do it.
It's cold out there, man.
Either stay on the show, but I mean, we've pretty much lost the entire.
There's a Brian in your house, Kyle. There's a Brian in your house.
There's a Brian.
Anyways, sorry.
But I don't know. Like, the whole cast is gone now. Like, what's the point of going on without the cast of The Walking Dead?
That's what I said. Cancel the show. It's done.
We have the whole bench crew of The Walking Dead on now. It's like we're on the second string.
Yeah.
Just change the name of the show to Norman Reedus Fights Zombies.
Norman Reedus fights zombies on bikes.
It's just what they should just do is an hour of him just riding around on a motorcycle. Oh, they already have a show about that. Never mind.
Yeah, it's called Ride, and it's actually a pretty decent show.
But they should just do it on The Walking Dead too. He just rides around.
Walking Dead. That he has a guest.
Riding around shooting zombies. And you should just turn it into a buddy comedy with him and Negan. They become best friends.
It's a buddy cop movie.
So it's just
that song over and over and over.
Aim for the bush.
Yep.
Yeah, Tim is kind of right. It is pretty close to the third string.
It's just the buddy comedy movie between Negan and Norman Reedus.
It's just them. whistling and skipping.
Yep.
Holding hands.
People, let me tell you about my
you
best
and you and
friend.
me. No matter how we toss the dice, it has to be.
There you go.
What's that song that they kept on playing for him when he was
Who cares? That song sucked.
The
The Easy Street song?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Easy Street. That's their theme song.
Easy Street.
You picture them in there interviewing the zombie. God damn it! I know you were there. Negan. Let me take this. Let me take this. Hey, I'm your friend. I don't know. But what's the point of getting rid of everybody? Like, what direction are they truly putting The Walking Dead into now?
Tim says, get rid of the people altogether and just have 45 minutes of zombie herds roaming the lands every week.
You just see.
They should change it to have animals fighting the zombies.
There's 45 minutes of them walking to a chain link fence.
There you go.
That'd be kind of awesome.
What's going on right now?
Downward spiral direction. That's absolutely correct.
Oh, pretty much. And what sucks is like this season hasn't been bad, and by the promos, like we were talking last week, the next half of the season is going to be fucking awesome. And then what? Season 10, they're just going to shit the bed again.
With Alpha.
Thank you for fucking with us. Have a nice day.
Well, I wonder if season 10 is they're going to. I wonder if season 10 they're going to bring in the Commonwealth, and that's what they're going to do with her, is that she's going to be at the Commonwealth. So it's going to be like, that's why it'll be sporadic, because you're not going to see her at the Commonwealth in every episode.
I think season 10 should just be Rick. He wakes up and he goes, damn, that was a fucked up dream. And then the credits roll.
If they do that, dude, I'll burn every single fucking Walking Dead comic book I have. If he just wakes up one day and it was all a dream, it's game over, bro. Like,
hey, Coral, I had this fucked up dream, Coral.
You invested 9 years and almost 200 issues into this shit, and
you were there.
Yeah, he just wakes up and they're all standing around him with flowers and shit, and Carl's a little kid again. I'll fucking burn everything.
It just pans out of get well soon balloons.
Yeah, and I'll fucking burn it all. I will burn it all. And then it'll be my mission to just burn Walking Dead collections.
Well, I know Brian has one, so you can go to his next.
Yeah, I'll go burn his next. Who's he talking to? Is he talking to Chuck?
Yeah.
Fucking up the program here.
Fucking up the shit.
He wouldn't do this during Flipside.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, we're not talking about him. That's why.
Yeah, he comes on our show and he talks about Hitler and
it just fucking off. Bails.
Yeah, bails and just fucks off.
We see which one he really cares about.
I know, right?
Goddamn motherfucker.
And he definitely won't do this again with his new podcast that's coming out.
Right?
You bastard. This rat bastard.
It's Flipside, his new podcast.
And then us, yeah.
The podcast he's thinking about, another podcast he's talking about, and then
and then he wants to talk about Hitler, so he comes on our show.
Those motherfuckers.
Yep. Bastard. This rat bastard. Well, all right. I guess we can end the show there this week so you guys can get to doing whatever it is you need to do.
I ain't doing nothing. I'm here to fuck a podcast. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm new comics in the house.
And Brian is too. Comics.
Yeah. Comics. This isn't Flipside. This isn't Flipside, you fucking nerd.
Yeah, Brian, this isn't the flip side.
Yeah, that's why he's laughing, because he's like, if it was, I'd still be on camera.
Right? If this was flip side, I'd be taking it serious. I'd still be on camera.
Tim says Brian has a new podcast, Hitler Facts with Brian.
We are thinking about playing that game. Did Hitler really say this?
Yeah, and just giving Brian random Hitler quotes.
Fact or fake? Did Hitler say this?
That'd be funny.
But all right, I guess this is as good as place as any to end the show this week. I want to thank everyone who hung out with us tonight in the chat.
That was awesome, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, if you had a good time tonight, make sure to hit that like button. Let's get some likes in those chats. I'm seeing a bunch of people in here, but no likes in the video. So if you had a good time tonight hanging out and watching the show, make sure to hit that like button. If this is your first time watching us, if you just stumbled in, welcome, and hit that like and subscribe button.
Please come back next week.
Yeah, if you'd rather, we're here every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. ish.
Depending on my fucked up
depending
internet.
on technical issues. But if you want to listen to this podcast in audio form, you can do it wherever you get your podcast from: Podbean, Stitcher, Overcast, iTunes. We're pretty much on them all. So for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Jose.
And there's Brian over there.
He's Brian, and we'll see you next time.